Hey everyone, welcome back. So in this final part of the Selenium tutorial, we'll be running a complete suite of Selenium tests in one shot. So I'm going to take you through each kind of line of code and kind of explain how to use the unit test framework to work to validate the Blackjack game. And we can kind of dive into this. So we will actually be using the same libraries we used in the previous video, but one thing now we're going to be doing is we'll be importing unit test. So unit test, if you guys weren't aware of, this is a Python built-in testing framework used to create and manage our test suites. And as mentioned before, the Selenium driver is a web driver module that allows us to control the browser program. Sorry about that. And then the by this module helps locate elements on the web pages. And then the service and Chrome driver, these modules are used to manage the Chrome driver needed to control a Chrome. And then the time, this is used to add delayed, ensure the web page has enough time to update before we perform the further checks. Okay. So let's start off by just creating a simple class. So we're going to say class, you can name it Blackjack game test. And then what we're going to want to do in this class will contain all of our test methods. And it'll also inherit from the unit test case, meaning it will use the functionality of unit test for creating and running tests itself. So what we'll do is we'll type in unit test as so, and then test case as followed, and then okay. All right, perfect. So now that the class is made, we can actually look into creating a class method. And what we'll do is we'll have something called maybe set up class. So we're gonna have the following. We'll just get rid of this. You know what? We don't need to specify return type for this. Then what we can do is maybe we can type in class.driver, so it's kind of be a similar setup as kind of how we did it in the last video for the driver, but this time we're going to be putting inside of the class itself. So it's going to be webdriver.chrome and then service, and then it's going to be service again. I'm going to make a Chrome drive manager, and then dot install as in so. Okay, and then we'll go into this is very important. Make sure when we do the steps, as remembered from the last video, changes must be made to this directory. Follow. Okay, so what we're going to want to do is we're going to say here, we're going to say driver.get, and in this case we're going to implement our, so I'm just going to copy it over from this one from our previous video. You guys can do the same because we'll be using a lot of the same code as before. And then what we're going to do in this case is we'll do something called the driver maximum window, and this just will maximize the browser window for better visibility. I should have added that in our previous video, but I actually just found out about it, so we'll use that as well. Not get maximize window, and just like so we'll have that running, and then we'll have another time.sleep so we can let the window do what's needed. So okay, this is what we're gonna have for our setup, and then we're gonna make another class, I guess, called teardown class. Yep. So, and we'll remove this again and remove that. Okay. And then this is just pretty much what we did at the end, and where we just kind of make sure to quit out of all the driver. like so. So we're gonna call that there, and then now we can start getting into the functionality of part of it. So remember from the previous video, we had something where we can test the hit button. So we'll just make a function for test hit button, like so. And then for this, what we'll end up doing is we'll use a lot of the other stuff from before. So, for example, we can probably take, what can we take from this? Let's take that stuff. This looks, so we'll paste that. Oh, that's not, yeah. All right, perfect. So we're gonna have this stuff set. This case, we're gonna want to make some updates. We'll add self here, self here. What else are we missing? And then the assertion aspects of stuff. Well, actually, we can make it a value of the class itself. So we'll say assert. We'll call it assert greater equal, like so. And then the length and player cards. And then this will be 3. And then we'll say player should have at least 3 cards after hitting. This is test that the hit functionality is working properly as mentioned before. So it's a very similar test case. So yeah, and then am I missing anything? I think that should be all for just testing the hit button. Same thing goes for the stand button. Now we're gonna say stand and then button self again. And we can just copy it over from the previous. Yeah, perfect. Now this is done. Now we're gonna add assert not equal. So we'll say assert not equal, like so. And then we're gonna say game status. And then we'll do the same check as we did before. Standing. So this is making sure that the status is updated after the stand button is clicked. And then the last one is the test restart. Let's bring this stuff over again. And then we're gonna see if it's assert equal this time. Same check as last video. Okay, perfect. So after that is all done, we can kind of add a main functionality at the bottom. So Okay, and then what we can just do is we can type in unit test and then main like so at the bottom. So now that we've written our individual tests, we can run the entire suite, and this is done by running the script directly. So this pretty much code block that I added at the end right here. This ensures that when the script is run, all test methods, test hit button, test stand button, and test restart button are executed one by one. Each test opens the browser and performs interactions like clicking buttons and verifies the results. The results are then displayed in the terminal, showing whether each test passed or failed, which helps identifying the issues with the game itself. So kind of to summarize, we ended up using the unit test framework to run if we're gonna run the full suite of the full suite for the Selenium test on our Blackjack game. So let's just quickly give that a try and see the results. It should be very similar to the previous video, but now we'll have a little bit more information given to us. So, yep, does its thing. Okay, perfect. So now, as you can see in this case, we can look at the terminal and we get the game status. It ran 3 tests. It took around 8 seconds, and it came back as okay. So we kind of tested the core functionalities of the hitting, standing, and restarting the game. By running all these tests in one shot, we automate the verification process. So making sure our game behaves correctly in various scenarios. This type of automated testing is powerful because it not only saves time, but it ensures consistency, and it also helps catch issues early in the development process. But This is pretty much it for the one-shot video. Thank you for joining me in these tutorial series, and I hope you found them very helpful and now feel a little more confident in using Selenium for testing your projects. And reach out to me if you have any questions. Thank you so much for watching my videos. Have a good one. Bye bye.